It's the Garage Guys Report, Motorsports news for you. Welcome back to the Garage Guys Report. It is episode 4, and I'm your host, Chase Holden, a.k.a. Garage Guy Chase. You're in for a treat this weekend because we made history, NASCAR fans. That's right, Garage 56 ran at Le Mans, one of the biggest races in the world, and we finished it. We finished it. Shout out to us. Shout out to NASCAR. Shout out to America. We'll definitely chat a little bit more about that. We're going to talk about Sonoma. We're going to talk about everything racing all over the world. And we're entering the off week. It's sad. It's troublesome. People will say, oh no, we're not going to have any racing. News flash. We're going to have INDYCAR this weekend. So it's a perfect time to watch INDYCAR racing if you haven't done that yet. But on this episode of the report, before we get started, before we get into the news, before we get to your voicemails, before we see what Kip Richards has to break down, we got to talk about the daily downforce. That's right. Right now, I want you to get on your phone, get on your computer, go to dailydownforce.com. Subscribe to the newsletter. It's where all of the amazing hot topics are being sourced in NASCAR right now. Articles about betting, articles about news, fun articles, opinions, everything you can think of is on dailydownforce.com. And not only can you get some amazing content over there, but you can order Garage Guys official merchandise. So if you are a supporter of Garage Guys, you support me, Dale, and everything that we do, and you love racing, then it's a perfect time to get over there, buy yourself a Garage Guys hat, a shirt, soon to be flags, maybe. They got stickers as well. Stickers are back. You can get die-cut stickers of Garage Guys. It was a big hit. We did it last year, and now you can get them on dailydownforce.com. So get over there today. Tell them Garage Guy Chase sent you. It's the hottest new place to get all of your NASCAR news. So, speaking of news, let's go ahead and get right into it. Welcome to the report. Last Friday, we saw a very scary incident happen in the World of Outlaws race at Knoxville, where Casey Macedo ended up getting in a very horrific crash in the sprint cars. And this is just another example of how dangerous racing can be and the amount of just grit that it takes to get behind the wheel of a car. It really shows you a new level of respect for these guys. And for those of you that don't watch sprint car racing or really understand how dangerous it can be, especially when you get in a wreck, what you're about to see could be disturbing. But I'm going to show you a clip of the wreck that happened with Casey Macedo in Knoxville at the World of Outlaws race. Oh my God. Whoa. Oh. The good news here is that Casey is okay. He is fine. I've read reports showing where he walked out of the hospital, and this was a story on speedsport.com saying that he was released, that he is okay. And Jason Johnson Racing here, Carson Macedo was released and did walk out of the hospital early this morning. Thank you all for the thoughts and prayers, and that was on June 11th. So great to see that Casey was able to survive that crash. That was crazy, and it just gives you another level of respect for what these guys in these cars do. So glad everything's okay. Shout out to these guys for just having the balls of steel getting in these cars. Moving on to a little more happier news. Garage 56 finished the 24-hour of Le Mans, and it was a beautiful sight. Shout out to America. Shout out to NASCAR. Shout out to Team Hendrick, Chad Knaus, Jimmy, Jensen, Mike, the boys. We did it. Guys, I don't know if you realize how big of a deal this is. In 1976, NASCAR had 2 cars that they placed in this race, a Dodge and a Ford. The Dodge lasted about 2 hours. The Ford lasted about 11 hours. So this was a huge outing for NASCAR and everybody involved in the project because they actually finished the race. And that's good enough for me. I don't need a win here. They did finish 39th officially. Don't care. They finished 24 full hours of racing. And that is a huge advancement. That is a huge dub for everything NASCAR. But look, it wouldn't have even mattered if this car would have won or not because it couldn't win. It was entered in an experimental category. And so because of that, officially they couldn't really win the race. So they were just out there to stunt and shine, and that's what they did. We got the NASCAR brand and name out to just so many worldwide race fans, and that's what counts in this situation. You know, it would have almost been a perfect story, but unfortunately, Jimmy Johnson will not be moving to France. Rats. Thought we had him this time. In NASCAR, Martin Truex Jr. got another win in the 2023 season, making it his 4th official road course victory at Sonoma, a.k.a. Sears Point, a.k.a. Wine Road. For anybody that didn't see this coming, I'm sorry. You obviously didn't watch practice like I did. But I was very excited for Martin. I knew that something had to change. Something had to come for Toyota. We saw it happen here. Also, MTJ met Shaq. He had no clue that Shaq was even a DJ. And it was very nice of James Small to give Shaq this t-shirt of him as Crocodile Dundee. One thing that was a little bit disappointing to a lot of NASCAR fans was the fact that there were not a lot of incidents in this race. I mean, for one, I love no stage breaks when it comes out for the caution at the end of a stage. Keep it. That's just how it goes. If you didn't like it, that means you were probably waiting on more cautions, more crashes, or your favorite driver to get into the lead. And that's just truth. But I'm not going to sit here and try to break down everything that did happen or could have happened. That's what we have Kip Richards for. So without further ado, he's back. He's no longer sick. Give a warm welcome to Kip Richards, here to break down the incidents that we did see at Sonoma.
Yes, I have returned. I am Kip Richards, official analysis from the Garage Guys Report, and former driver of the number 100 Purple Pontiac for Team Pangus, representing the Team Pangus name. Here, let's see Toby Christie's incident reporter for the race at Sonoma in NASCAR. As you can see, there were not many wrecks in this race, but what I have determined to be the most alarming and shocking development in the race was when this man and multiple human beings decided to get into a shopping cart and drive it down the straightaway of Sonoma. What in the world were they thinking? I have not seen something like this since the television show Jackie, and it really got me thinking, how many grocery stores can we put these inside? I, for one, know that I would be a safe and cautious driver after my time racing in NASCAR. Others may not be able to say the same. But one thing is for sure, a world with these shopping carts would be a better one for all.
Thanks for the breakdown, Kip. Let's go to voicemails. All right, now we're going to roll into some voicemails. We got 13 voicemails this week. Some returning callers, some new callers. Really interested to see what everyone has to say. Some pretty amazing names, by the way. Even had SpiderMan call in. That's according to the Google transcript. So, going to hear from SpiderMan on this episode. This is a big episode. This is a big time. But if you want to be a part of the action each week, you want your voice to be heard, you know what to do. Just call the hotline, 919-769-4477, which also stands for GGRP. So just put it in your phone, 919-769-4477. You put that in your cell phone, save it as Garage Guys Report, save it as Race Fan Hotline, call it in every weekend. We're talking about all motorsports. It's a beautiful thing. We're going to start it off this week with a first-time caller, I believe. Met this fella at Gateway about a week, 2 weeks ago. So this is Hunter from Arkansas.
What's up, Garage Guys? My name is Hunter. I'm from Jonesboro, Arkansas. I was actually the guy at Gateway that got interviewed that was wearing the Hail Melon shirt. How about Ross with a nice, quiet 10th place finish, slowly getting back to speed. But fucking Martin Truex had a domination show this weekend. God damn, I almost fell asleep. Such a dang Martin Truex snooze fest. Anyways, congrats to MTJ, dominating weekend. Now we're off of Fox Sports. We go over to NBC with Dale and Rick Allen, baby. Hell yeah.
Very excited. Hunter. That's Hunter from Arkansas. Very excited for Rick Allen and NBC. For those of you that didn't know, Fox's broadcast is over. Hunter, I appreciate you calling in. It's always good to hear from you. Big Ross Chastain guy, Hunter is. And, Martin Truex Jr. It may have put you to sleep, but we're sleeping comfortably on pillows made of cash. On to the next caller. We have Jack B. from Boston. Might be our first caller from Boston ever in the history of the report.
What's going on, boys? This is Jack B. from Boston, Massachusetts. Tell you what, Ross Chastain couldn't bully his way to a top 10. Mr. H really put in a word with Chevrolet. Come on. Can't believe the performance they've been having since the incident with Kyle Larson. Unbelievable. Not helping anyone out. Looking for a win after the off weekend. Come on back, Nashville. See you guys then. Have a good one.
I'm convinced that Jack B. could be a trucker. Using a lot of trucker lingo there, Jack. Thank you for calling. I appreciate it. Moving on to Jeremy from Maine.
The road course. Ready. Garage Guys rule. Jeremy, Maine.
That was like a robot called. I love the support, Jeremy. I love it, but that voicemail that was kind of like eating mushrooms, dude. It's kind of got me jumbled up. Everything was really out of place there. It's an OCD man's nightmare. But I'm glad you called. That was a very cryptic voicemail, and I appreciate it. Thank you for calling, Jeremy. We're going to move on now to Max, a.k.a. Lancer, from Discord.
Hey, boys, it's Max, a.k.a. Lancer from the Discord server. Just wanted to weigh in on Garage 56. Yeah, sure, it didn't finish great in the overall standings. Yeah, sure, it wasn't built to the exact standards of GTE or any of the other classes, and sure, it wasn't even classified for points. But NASCAR just went out there and proved that they can compete on the international stage with all the other teams in WEC and IMSA. So I think we can all agree that's not just a victory for NASCAR, but a victory for America. Let's hear it for America, everybody. USA! 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 All right, that's all I got. Y'all have a good one. Bye.
You got me going, Max. USA! It was a big weekend for America and for NASCAR. It wouldn't have even mattered if they would have won. They couldn't have won. They were in experimental class. But they did it for America. And they got the eyes of the world at what some may call the World Cup of racing. Got them eyeballs on NASCAR. They thinking, they plotting, we going worldwide. Thank you for calling, Max. Seth from North Carolina, up next.
Hey, Chase, it's Seth. I'm not sure why you have a Raleigh area code, but that's beside the point. I just wanted to point out that I don't think a lot of NASCAR fans understand how racing works. A lot of the complaints I see are always about lack of passing, especially at the beginning of the race. And I hate to break it to everybody, but when we qualify, the fastest cars usually end up at the front, and the slower cars usually end up at the back. So the amount of passing is going to be down due to the cars that would be doing the passing already being ahead of those other cars. I know I'm not breaking any news to you, but it does seem like NASCAR fans need a kind of, reality check on how this whole auto racing thing tends to work. Just wanted to say that. Love you. See you later.
Seth coming in off the top rope to a few of you NASCAR fans out there. Pretty wise words spoken. I would hope everyone knew how that worked. If you didn't, now you do. Give Seth a call. Tell him thanks. I appreciate you calling, Seth. And now, for a big one, we go to SpiderMan in Tennessee.
Hi, man. It's Johnny Boy. I'm calling from Pulaski, Tennessee, and I just think that that there Alex Palou, he's a pussy. I think that he is a crybaby, no good puss, and I think if I'm someone like Pato or Rossi, I'd go over there and knock him straight between his eyes. I'll tell you what, son.
The reason that I called him Spider-Man is because it said Spider-Man on the transcript email that I got when he called. Did not expect him to call about INDYCAR. Didn't at all. Spider-Man, big INDYCAR guy. Some pretty choice words for Palou and his fans. That's something. That's something right there. Spider-Man, please keep calling. I want to hear more voicemails from you. Thanks. That was Spider-Man. Taco Todd is up next.
Hey guys, Taco Todd here from California. Man, y'all need to come join us on Playback TV. Chase, Tony Two Tokes, always a blast, man. Never a dull moment. Back at these next generation cars, they suck on these road courses. They're about as fun to watch as watching your grandma cut her funky ass toenails. It's just boring. It's just boring as can be, man. Also, why do I keep betting on Sheldon Creed? He always finds a way not to win. I can't live off of top ramen and just dream of McChickens all week because I keep betting on this clown. I mean, he kills me every week. It's just nonsense. I need to really stop betting on Creed. But, hey, love y'all. Have a good week. Taco Todd out.
Thank you for calling, Taco Todd. I know it's a sad world we live in. But we've got a need for Creed, man. We've got a need for him. We can't give up on him. It's tough. You got to fight. We love Sheldon here at Garage Guys. And although, yes, it may be painful sometimes betting on him, you do it because you care, and you do it because you believe. But yeah, well, next time we'll get you some more on Martin Truex, Taco Todd. I'm sorry that it was a tough time, but I had a great time with you, and thank you for the playback shout out. That was huge. Everyone should be coming to playback.tv/Garage Guys. We have a great time. Now, 14-year-old Grant from Georgia.
Hey, my name's Grant, calling in from Moultrie, Georgia. I would like to disclose the fact that I am 14 years old, so this is coming from a 14-year-old male, so I'm about as stupid as you can get. I want to start a petition for Richard Childress to kick Austin Dillon out of the 3-car and put either Corey LaJoie, Eric Almirola, if he's willing, or Josh Balicki in that car, because they could do great things. And swear to God, on guy, Austin Dillon's in the news every week for the wrong reasons, and he's always crying about something that everybody else did. Like, he has talent, but it needs to develop or something, because he is not consistent, and he's one of the worst Chevy drivers each week. Like, come on, even with that penalty, I think it was 50 points earlier in the season, Corey LaJoie would still be beating him by a significant amount in the point standings. Like, Austin Dillon, come on, man, step it up. You're not doing good things. Like, I don't know. That's my petition to spam tag Richard Childress Racing and see if they'll put Josh Balicki or Lynn Castle or Corey LaJoy in that car. So, bye. Listen to the podcast. Good hearing you.
I'm so glad you stated the fact that you're a 14-year-old boy, because everything that you just said made zero sense, kid. I'm sorry. Excuse me for cussing. Your mom or your dad, for one, tell them to put some parental controls on your YouTube. For two, you're talking about a Daytona 500 winner, Austin Dillon. He's won races. Okay? Keeps the brand alive. I don't care what people say about Austin Dillon. Silver Spoon. He's Richard Childress' grandson. Whatever else. You just said to put Josh Balicki in a car over Austin Dillon, who's won a Daytona 500, who's won a Coke 6. Don't call here no more, dude. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Crazy. All right, a guy named Dale. Let's move on to a guy named Dale. Hopefully not 14. Hopefully doesn't have takes like that on this show.
Chase, my name's Dale, man. What the hell's going on? You got the same name as fucking Chase Elliot. Ran like dog shit. Have a good night. Bye.
Thanks for calling, Dale. I'm still just shook by Grant's voicemail before him. But, yeah, Chase Elliott, man, a lot of people are probably wondering, like, you know, are we going to see Chase win a road course race with this new car? When is it going to happen? When is it going to come? He seems like he's getting better and better. He didn't have the worst finish of the day, but he didn't have the best finish. He didn't do what we expected of him. So, you know, I think he's got it. He's just trying to wrestle this bear. And he's trying to get it figured out. I don't think his road course winning days are over by any means, but he's definitely going to be putting in some extra work probably to really get a hold of whatever is holding him down at these races, Dale. So I will say that. So sorry, I'm just a little shook from the voicemail. I really hope that was a kid that was just trolling, or that was maybe a man calling this show that was trolling, pretending to be a 14-year-old boy. That would make more sense. Either way, you got me. All right, this is A-Son from Florida.
Hey, son, what sent out the Lord 56 at Remons? Had amazing one at Remons, had some problems. But, hey, we stay fans that the place Sonoma was pretty good. Mine put tuned up Dub, Elliot, top 5. And we got 3 fried pickles on Monday. Let's feed it tonight, bro. And also, I'm from Milton, Florida.
I didn't really understand a word you said, A-Son, but I played it for you. About the one thing that I really got out of that whole conversation was free fried pickles on Monday. Shout out to that. Shout out to Hooters. And then Milton, Florida. Other than that, that was A-Son from Florida. Let's go to Chris from Pennsylvania.
Hey, this is Chris, a.k.a. Epic Taco Rage from the Discord. Big vintage NASCAR guy. Besides the point, you know, coming from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, you know, wine race this weekend, you know, got to celebrate, so I got some box wine, you know, good race, road course, of course. Huh? Oh, yeah, road course, always coming through, got Truex winning, yeah, road course, yeah, wine country, yeah, so, Toyota, yeah. Besides the point, I've downed a whole box of wine in preparation for this race. and I don't remember who I bet on, so my bank will tell me that in the morning. So I'm big on Truex, big on Toyota, and I'm pretty sad that there's no racing next weekend. But that's besides the point, you know. So I'm just happy with the road course. Pretty happy with Truex. Yeah, Martin winning. So I guess I'll just celebrate with buying some more box wine and watching some old races. But yeah, wine country, yeah. So thanks for everything you guys do, and I don't remember where my keys are at.
Thanks for calling, Chris from Pennsylvania. I died the moment, like, because I realized, like, something's happening here, and he's like, "Give down a whole box of wine already before he called." Great voicemail from Chris from Pennsylvania, and congrats. I hope it was Martin that you bet on. I hope you found your keys. We're going to go to a second-time caller on the program. Dicky Bums has called back. Let's see what Dicky Bums has to say.
Yeah, this is Dicky Bums calling in. I am reporting live. I'm watching the Xfinity race over here, and I can't believe it. I had lost hope. I had lost belief. I had lost faith. But there is a racing God. And we've seen the racing God shown himself today when we was watching the race. I think it was a great idea for NASCAR to run the race with no stage cautions. I hate stage racing. I can't stand stage racing. Back in my day, we ain't need no stages. And now we ain't run this race with no cautions. And what do you see happen? We run the stage, and the 8-car Josh Berry, he pulls over, and he says, "I need a stage break. I need a caution." We had an authentic caution, and I think the racing gods were telling NASCAR, we don't need no stage caution. I'm cool with the stage racing. Let's get rid of the stage caution. I appreciate it. Thanks, Garage Guys, for letting me call in again, and I'll be back. Thank you, Dicky Bums.
Dicky Bums taking us to NASCAR church over here, calling in, just preaching the gospels of no stage cautions. Hallelujah, amen. Dicky Bums, thanks for calling, my man. Thank you for calling. Good voicemail right there. Love that. Love hearing from Dicky. Keep calling, Dicky. All right, we're going to go to Drunk A-Hole? Drunk as Whole. Drunk as Whole from Colorado.
All right, this is Drunk as Whole from Colorado, and I have been here in western Colorado drinking some wine only appropriate for the Sonoma race. It is time. Dale's got to let MTJ out of jail. I mean, you kidding me? We're talking about a lot of folks in the Discord that got him at 40-1. It's your own fault if you keep him in jail and you didn't get those odds on somebody who's won this race multiple times. So, you know, the Walladale love it. BJ McLeod, always sports guy of the week. But at this point, it's not a dictatorship. He's got to come out of jail. That's all I got. You guys are awesome. Have a wonderful day.
Drunk as Whole from Colorado. Here to beg Dale Tanhart to let Martin Truex out of prison. That's how I took that call anyways. Look, it's a tough bargain. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to talk him out of it. Dale is basically the warden from Shawshank Redemption when it comes to Martin Truex. Hey, I don't care if he's out of jail or not. 40-1, incredible odds. I was late to the party. I was able to grab him at 16-1 on FanDuel while practice was actually happening. Thank you, FanDuel. Appreciate you. But it's really not my place. We've discussed it. We've talked about it. That's Dale's doing. The main thing is that even if he is in prison, he wasn't drinking toilet wine today. We're going to move to our last voicemail of the Garage Guys Report. It's Elliot Lindwood from California. He is also over on playback.tv going to be our new incident play-by-play analyst. Elliot is also blind, so his play-by-plays are absolutely going to be electric. You should check him out. But this is a first-time caller, Elliot Linwood from California. Our guy, here he is.
Hello, this is Elliot Linwood calling from California. Interesting race today. I mean, kind of a parade, but good on Truex for winning. He's back to being good at road courses. So kind of was worried about that a little bit. Interesting to see Chase Elliott not having the road course domination that he used to have. He hasn't won a road race since next gen. Also, the Garage 56 entry at Le Mans actually finished the race. The last time that NASCAR came to Le Mans, they did not finish the race. I looked that story up. It is fascinating. Other than that, just I do want to get a plug in if you haven't seen it. Carson Macedo got out of the hospital today after that horrific World of Outlaws wreck in Knoxville, and I just want to say good job to the safety team, and I'm glad he's okay after that, because that was a very bad wreck. So yeah, I enjoyed listening to the commentary today, and hope to do it a lot more. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Elliot. Appreciate the call. All good stuff there. And yes, big shout out. We're glad to see that Carson was able to be all right after that incident. Talking about a little World of Outlaws racing right here. So Elliot definitely knows his stuff when it comes to racing. So we're excited to see how that shakes out here in the future. You're only going to find out or see it if you go to playback.tv/GarageGuys. That's all the voicemails that we have on episode 4 of the Garage Guys Report. Well, that's it for me here from the International Chase Station. I hope you've enjoyed the show. Remember, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere in the world at Garage Guy Chase. Be sure to visit dailydownforce.com this week. Get yourself some Garage Guys merch and check out some of the best content in the game. And don't forget to call the hotline next week. We have INDYCAR racing. It's not an off week. Don't get it twisted. I want to hear your thoughts about the INDYCAR race next week on the Garage Guys Report Episode 5. The number to call, 919-769-4477. Don't forget it. I want to hear from you. Thank you so much, Garage fam. It's been a great week. Another beautiful Motorsports weekend has blessed and graced us. It's now gone. We move into the off week for NASCAR, not off week for INDYCAR. We still got racing. It's the Garage Guys Report. Motorsports news for you.